free parking downtown SLO.
Yeah, you heard that right. Just park in the new structure on the Pomo and Palm, across from the creamery. Eat at La Esquina, Mistura, or Mama's Meatball, and they'll validate your parking.
Thank you.
To learn more about how to park free downtown, visit slowfreeparking.com.
You're Up and Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Thursday, and thank you so much for being Up and Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. Want to say before we get things going, I've had a lot of people reach out with not knowing. I mean, I've mentioned my dad a little bit here, and I got a really sweet message from a listener from Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota, right? Yeah. Rob and Jenny Vold, just great people, and just the sweetest message. So even brought up the times I've had my dad, who we affectionately in the family call Opa, having like Opa on the show. But the latest is my dad, he's not doing good. He went in for back pain 3 weeks ago yesterday to the day. And instead of hearing, oh, you got kidney stones, which is what he told them he had when he walked in, he was pretty sure that's what it was. They told him that he had stage 4 in like 4 or 5 different places. I mean, just rocked him, rocked us. And, he just turned 80 in January, but a strong, broad shoulder, handsome 80. And, this was a surprise. This was more than a surprise. This was a Mack truck, a complete shock. So then it's, and I'm not going to, we're going to go too into things because I love for people, if they pray, to pray for him. But also I do want to leave, there's a lot of things, because you've probably been through something like this, or someone who has, especially with cancer. It's complicated. There's a lot of things that go along with it. And some of those things belong just to the family to kind of work through and figure out, and I know my dad's going through a lot, and I imagine he listens to the show. I hope he still does. I hope he still can, I mean, it is a time right now. So your prayers and of everything and wherever this goes and forever, how long we just have him. We're just so thankful to have him on this earth. And I want to thank you for your prayers and your thoughts and your texts. And you come up and go, give me a squeeze. Or, what I really love is I've talked to different people. I won't say their names here, but I've had really deep conversations. Some of these folks that you've heard on the show in the last couple of days or will in the next couple of days. In talking about my dad to them, they're sharing stories with me about their mom or their dad in tough times. And so many people, and that's one reason why I'm talking about it right now, because the message that I got yesterday from a listener in Minnesota, for crying out loud, said it was really, they talked about how hearing me talk about it freed some feelings and some thoughts in their head and heart. And I thought, wow. So, you and I have had this connection for a while. And if you follow me back to radio, you and I have had maybe a connection for 20 years, if not more. Who knows when we started kind of doing this thing, what we do, but you do. I guess the answer is you do. But I just wanted to say that I wanted to tell you that I love my dad so much, and that this is such a hard time to watch things change the way they're changing, and know that time and that hourglass, it's alarmingly scary, but there are times to be strong and weather through, not asking why me, asking what now, and just love. If there is someone in your life and you have a chance to say something, express something, love on them, use the time on this earth to do to do great things with them, then, this is the time. This is the time. So thank you for listening. We do have a great show today, and I will keep you updated on how things go. And if you are a person that prays, of course, we welcome them. All right. Coming up on the show, a conversation that really might just change the way you think about hunger, community, and what it really means to have someone's back. Molly Kern from the SLO Food Bank joins me to talk about the reality facing thousands of families right here in SLO-Cal. And look, this isn't just about food. It's about dignity. It's about parents quietly doing the math at the grocery store. It's about kids who look forward to summer break while their parents quietly worry about how to replace those school meals. Molly's going to open up about the heartbeat of this community, why food is more than just fuel, and how SLO County continues to show up for its neighbor in beautiful human ways. The work of the SLO Food Bank is fascinating. It's not just kind of like, sad food. No, it's exciting what people who are suffering from food insecurities are able to resource and to get their hands on. We're talking about the big SLO Food Bank open house that's happening on May 30th. And yes, your boy is emceeing again. I'm excited. There's a full-on breakfast bag build-off competition that feels kind of like part March Madness, part community love fest. So it's complete with open house tours, face painting, lots of family fun, great food, fun, drink. Hang out with us at the SLO Food Bank. It is going to be a blast. It is their open house on May 30th. And coming up in a few, we will chat with CEO Molly Kern all about it. Before we do, quick PSA for anyone who says I don't go downtown because the parking sucks. Well, guess what? We fixed it. Or my friends at these 3 restaurants are fixing it. If you park in the new Cultural Arts District parking structure, that's the new one on Napomo and Palm, then head into La Esquina, Mama's Meatball, or Mistura. They'll validate your parking for 2 hours, completely free. That's right. Totally cool. Free parking downtown SLO. That's what I just said. So whether it's tacos and margs at La Esquina, maybe some pasta, lasagna, oh my God, at Mama's Meatball, or maybe some bold flavors coming out from Mistura. Maybe you're doing the chef's table over there. Your parking is covered. Park, eat, validate, done. Get the full details right now. SLOfreeparking.com.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right. Super happy to welcome someone who I think is one of the more just thoughtful, heart-driven leaders we've got here in nonprofit life in SLO-Cal. Molly Kern, CEO of the SLO Food Bank, an organization that is now helping more than 52,000 people a month across SLO County, including thousands of children and families. Today, we're talking about the real need happening right here in our own community, and why summer, the season, can really become a stress point for many parents. Some of the kids are loving it, but sometimes the parents do the math and they go, wow. So, considering how the food bank is turning service into something powerful, hopeful, and even fun through their upcoming open house, this is a blast. They do this breakfast bag build-off competition. I'll be out there emceeing the event again this year. Super stoked that they're having me back. So we're going to give you all the details on how to come hang with us, tour the warehouse, and see what community looks like when it really shows up for each other. Molly, always love having you in here. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Thanks for having me. It's fun to be back.
It's cool. SLO-Cal Studios, baby.
You have really come up in the world. Literally upstairs now. It was in the cellar, and now we're up in the beautiful light. And
I know.
With our friends at SLO-Cal.
It's pretty cool. Let's talk food bank. I always love seeing you around. I find that you might be one of the best. I actually get a little bit intimidated when I talk to you.
Oh no.
It's because you're so, and not trying to just glaze you for no reason, but you are very articulate. And when I listen to you do things where you're talking in front of people, times where I would get really nervous, you do it effortlessly, and you speak a good amount, then you stop. And it's there's not a lot of ums and ahs. So you're just really good at what you do.
Well, thank you. It has taken a lot of practice. I will say this is not naturally.
Really?
Yeah, I think maybe like many people, public speaking is not my comfort zone, but it's so important, especially with the food bank, with what we're doing. It's part of the community. And so being able to help share the stories of what we're hearing on the ground, and also really make sure that we're inviting everyone to be part of our mission. that we are the least exclusive club in SLO County at the food bank. That's important. So yeah, I feel like you are the voice of San Luis Obispo though. That
makes me feel very good. That's such a compliment from especially someone like you. So let's talk about what is the finger on the pulse of the community now as it relates to food need, the food bank, all of that.
Yeah, so it's pretty incredible right now. Last year, we served an average of 45,000 people every single month. So that's more than 1 in 6 SLO County residents. And right now, we're seeing that has increased again. So even just the first quarter of the year, serving more than 52,000 people every month. And so on one hand, it's heartbreaking because we're seeing so much need in our community. And it's really for things that many of us here experience. Cost of living, cost of gas has come up, I think, every single day over the past few weeks. Yeah. We're hearing a lot about cost of medical care, cost of childcare, and even like availability of childcare so that people can work comes up all the time. And so sometimes it's really heartbreaking to hear those stories. But on the flip side, this community steps up. And that we've been able to say yes to every single person that's, turned to us for support in tough times, that we've been able to say, hey, this community's got your back. It's just beautiful.
Let's talk about who's turning to you right now, because we're getting into summer, kids just about weeks away or days away, maybe from getting out of school. And I imagine that creates a whole lot of churning in the heart of parents who go, man, every day, son or daughter's got that cafeteria to go to. And here they don't have that. So summers can really represent a tough time for folks who are food insecure.
It really is, especially for young families. And that's more than half of the people that we serve anytime during the year are children and their families. And so when we look at the summer, we know that in SLO County schools, about half of the students would qualify for free or reduced lunch. And so that's a really strong indicator that when their parents need to come up with probably 10 additional meals a week, so it's a breakfast and a lunch over the summer, that their grocery budget is really going to be stretched. We heard from a mom a few weeks ago who's saying over the summer, her grocery budget doubles.
Wow.
And that's just the reality of, one, how amazing our school system is at supporting families and students. Really, they're hitting it out of the park. And some of the amazing and talented nutrition directors at these schools are making sure that there's fresh local food in all of the meals, that they're making sure that it's things that are delicious, but also support children's ability to learn and thrive all day long. And then in the summer, that can be really a big challenge. It's a big pause. And so we work to make sure that children and families can really look forward to summer. They don't have that sort of looming fear that can come with it. And also that when school comes around again in the fall, they're ready to go. They've been growing. They have been, taking that break well, and they're ready to thrive when school comes back.
Are there people who you find who might not even be ringing your phone or knocking on your door during the school year, but for summers, you hear from them?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's how it goes for so many people. It's really just comes back to the cost of living here in SLO County.
Right.
That it's just so hard to make ends meet, especially if you're raising, young children and they're doing fine, sort of paycheck to paycheck maybe during the school year. But then summer comes around and you have to find a place for your children to go while you go to work. So that costs extra money.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to provide all of these additional meals and things like that. So it definitely is seasonal who we see when. But we really want to make sure that we're gearing up. We've got breakfast bags that are going to be going out, more than 6,500.
Wow.
Cute backpacks. We want to make sure everyone's, looking good when they're sporting their food bank accessories, but they're filled with more than 21 breakfasts in each backpack to really help support families even more than a typical neighborhood food distribution would over the summer. And so, we get to work with our children's farmers markets throughout the year to help taste test everything that goes in there.
Oh, is that right?
So not only does it meet our nutritional requirements to have no added sugar, sodium, things like that, but also we know that children enjoy eating it, which is the important part, right?
It really is. How do you ride that line? I never thought about that of like, okay, we're not just going to say yes to everything.
Oh yeah.
It's not just going to be like, like fruit roll up tape and Go-Gurts, the whole thing. How do you kind of manage the kids, they need to be fed correctly. They need to be fed nutritionally.
And it's not just children. It's also seniors. It's everyone.
Sure.
So our food bank was one of the first really in the state more than 15 years ago to adopt a nutrition policy. So this is something that our board reviews every 2 years. And it's, written and informed by so many smart people in our community, including Cal Poly and Cuesta professors. We've got nutritionists that work at local healthcare spaces that help inform what's most important and make sure that we're not getting out of date with nutrition science, because that is something that's evolving all the time.
I feel like it used to be like this pyramid. And then it's like
there's
this.
so
like
many shapes. We could also have a geometry lesson as part of the nutrition.
Right.
We can get so ready for the trapezoid coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be next, a rhombus maybe, but we make sure that we've got the basics, and that really guides all of our procurement. So that guides all of the food that we purchase. But also, when we get a lot of food donations from food drives and things like that, not only are we sorting through it to make sure that it's still within its best by date, that it's still safe to eat, but also really recognizing that what we hear time and time again from people that we serve is that they want healthy food. And so we're not, filling our trucks and using our shelves and all of our manpower and our volunteer time to sort and distribute and get out unhealthy food.
Right.
But in fact, that everything that sort of makes it through our system is going to support someone's ability to thrive.
In an area like this, where we're not a big metropolitan area, we're not a San Francisco, we're not a Los Angeles, we still have maybe 1,100 or so nonprofits in this area. And like you noted earlier, we are an area that loves to give big, but to stand out among so many different types of many fantastic nonprofits that are doing great things. How does one do that? I mean, we all need food, so there is that. But like, how do you make sure you and your team continue, yes, to do and serve so many, but also really need to be at the forefront of when people are kind of pulling back that layer, ready to give, that they're thinking of you?
So I think one of the most incredible ways that we do that is that we are actually built in partnerships. Most of the food that goes out from the food bank goes to another nonprofit. And so we have more than 70 local nonprofits that order from us every single week. I say like our interface is sort of like an early version of Amazon. So it's not the most beautiful, shopping interface for these nonprofits, but they get to go through and select what they want, different, nonprofits. Maybe you're serving seniors, maybe you're serving children. You're going to select different items, but they can order from us every single week. And then depending on sort of the scale of how many people they're serving, they either come and pick up from us at our warehouse or we'll deliver it. So all of the local homeless shelters, all of the pantries, so many after school programs, which is so important, especially during the summer where it's YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, these places where children and their families already are and have those trusted relationships. We can be basically the free Costco for nonprofits in SLO County and help them fulfill their missions in such an elegant way. And it's not like we're a parent company of theirs or anything like that. Everyone's still totally independent, but we've sort of come together and identified these places where if we work together, we can go so much further.
Last year, I feel, was the first time I saw your open house, rather saw your newer location. And it really is. You call it like it's massive.
It's huge. It's more than 20,000 square foot warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, I pick up the Costco thing because every time we do an event and a small child walks through, they go, oh, this looks like Costco because they're, shopping there with their families maybe. And so that's where we've picked that up. It was
How many years have you been in that location now?
Since 10 years.
Okay.
So since 2016. Awesome. Yeah.
Man.
Previously, there was one warehouse in Oceano and one up in Paso Robles. And then under the leadership of Carl Hansen and Wendy Lewis, they, spearheaded this effort with the board to have a centralized location where we have also the cold storage. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We have a freezer that's more than 3 times the size of the room that we're in right now and walk-in coolers and things like that. So the economies of scale, how far we can stretch a dollar is really supported by our warehouse and what we have there.
I love that you talk about that because when someone donates to you, rather than just being able to go get a food certificate or like a food card, a food gift certificate to a place, your ability to stretch a dollar it's almost magic. I mean, you really can make $1 last in a lot of different ways. Yeah. What is that power and how can people understand and wrap their head around that a little more?
So I think one of the best ways to think about it is when you actually think about your own grocery cart when you're shopping. What is that full of? And when we think about what do the nutritionists, the experts tell us it should be full of? It's mostly fresh food. And so we are working every day with local farmers and farmers really throughout California to make sure that we always have abundant fruits and vegetables, that we always have milk and eggs, tortillas and bread, those fresh foods that are really the grocery basics. And so what we're able to do is work with other food banks from throughout California. So we're all buying together as this like army of food banks and then working on the logistics. We're able to work really collaboratively with local farmers in particular to see, hey, is there something that you weren't going to pick in your fields that we can send our gleaning volunteers out to get, so that it's really a win-win. They're, donating and getting the benefit of that, but also feeding our neighbors. I really do think about like, what is our core mission at the food bank? It's to be problem solvers and to connect those dots, to find win-wins. We're working with every single grocery store in SLO County.
Yeah, wow.
To get volunteers and amazing people to get food that's still healthy and great, good to be eaten, to get it to our neighbors facing hunger as fast as we possibly can.
I think of like you doing all this work with like these, like you said, every grocery store, these big organizations partnering with other food banks. But then I think of like, Aria and CLO with Pots to Plates project.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
And like here is this small, very just like incredible, worthy stewardship that they're doing, thought of their own way to like upcycle succulents and then so money's going to the food bank.
Yep.
I mean, and like a good amount. Like it's so
incredible.
How when you look at like the big ways that you're making moves, but then you see like the very like community driven, neighborly, worthy ways of those moves, how do you kind of, look at the two?
I think it's, the scale is absolutely different, but the spirit is the same, right? Because they're also seeing a problem, coming up with a win-win solution, figuring out a way to move forward and to create an amazing positive impact. And so I think that's really it. I think regardless of what industry you're in San Luis Obispo County, relationships are what make it happen. Yeah. And we get to see that not only with donors and amazing people who are doing fundraisers for us, but also with the people that we serve, where we're able to really, over time, get to understand what can we be doing better to support your needs. We up in Paso Robles, we were working with the amazing team at the Paso Robles Housing Authority and got some feedback saying like, hey, if we had slightly different hours, we think more people would come. So we made that adjustment and nearly doubled the number of people we were serving at that location. So that feedback makes us better. We're able to serve more people more efficiently. It didn't take more staff time from us. Yeah. It wasn't that we were purchasing more food or, really spending any more money. We were just hearing from the community and able to tailor our solution in that way.
I love that.
So it's everything, whether it's hearing from someone who's a senior saying, hey, I really need some Ensure or some extra, nutrition in what, we're delivering to their door. We have a senior home delivery program.
Wow.
More than 300 seniors every week. Wow. Get these, nutritious packages of groceries and to hear from them. Sometimes what they're looking for, we can't always say yes, but we always want that feedback because there might be an opportunity that, comes across our desk, as it were, where we get to say yes. And so it's that piece of, I think, being able to know your community also. You said, we're not San Francisco or LA. We get to know each other. We get to trust each other and to figure out ways to work together. And I think that is the through line. Yeah. Whether it's, working with Tally Farms for incredible donations and all of this beautiful food, or a more limited, partnership, we get to figure out to find something that works for everyone.
What do you feel like you've learned in this? How long have you been in this role for?
3 years.
And obviously you're fantastic at building relationships. You're really genuine, authentic. What have you kind of really seen, personally grow inside of you? And then, professionally, you're like watching yourself be this leader of this incredible organization. What have you really what's been ignited in you in this time with this great organization?
I think the starting point was food. I, grew up in a very Portuguese family. We eat like food, and eating and cooking for one another is our, love language. That's what it's about. And I think growing up in a big family, I wasn't always sure if that was how it was for other people. But I think time and time again, we've been reminded that like food is such a connector across cultures, across generations, across, geography, all of these different things, that there is this through line. And whether it's, getting to hear from the people that we serve about the family recipes that they're cooking for their family. We have someone who said she was able to cook over the holidays a family recipe for her grandchildren because of what she got at the food bank. But then also hearing from so many of our donors who say, I just can't imagine, being a parent and not knowing, skipping a meal so that my children can eat. I want to make sure no one has to make that choice here in SLO County. that through line is real. That humanity and the way that food and humanity are, I think, inextricably intertwined.
Sure.
Is really just been reinforced time and time again. And I think also just how much our community stands up.
Yeah.
There have been some tough things. You know, we've had government shutdowns, we've had funding cuts, we've had benefit changes, cost of living continues to go up. But I think at every turn, this community, I think, pretty much refuses to let their neighbors go hungry.
Yeah.
And to have that resolve and to see it across our community, whether someone is donating $6 from their bake sale that they did or their lemonade stand, or, you know, much more substantial things where people are talking about a legacy they want to leave behind in this community. That same spirit of we've got each other's backs, and that maybe there aren't quite as many differences when it comes to certain things as there are to, you know, some of the other conversations that we have.
Yeah.
That this is a place where a lot of people come together and there's a lot of alignment has been really beautiful.
Yeah, I can see that fuels you. Let's talk of the open house, May 30th.
Open house.
Saturday. I'm super excited to be involved again.
We are so excited to have you. It's going to be a good time.
Back.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Now, last year, let's talk about what we do. And we're doing a little bit of a tweak.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of exciting. We have these bags that we fill. We've turned it into almost like this like game show competition.
Yep.
It's very clever. It's very fun. And everyone gets involved. And meanwhile, you have these, whether they're companies or organizations that are giving back their time and their resources to the food bank in a very fun way.
I think I am the least sporty person on our team, but I've picked up some analogies as we've gone through this. I think March Madness style was the phrase that was going through the team as we were looking at this. But yeah, we're going to have some preliminary build-off competitions, and then at the open house is going to be the finals. So I'm so excited to see all of these different people. I think it's going to be a way where we can have more people involved. Yeah. Because, you know, this community, people are involved in everything. We've got lots of stuff going on. And so the opportunity to have even more people involved this year has been great. And still do that, you know, we did a run through with our team a few weeks ago and had people in our warehouse ready to go. We were timing things, figuring out all of the logistics. But it's going to be fun to see these teams go head to head to pack breakfast bags to really make sure that we've got those 6,500 backpacks ready to go by this time. So paint
this picture. We're taking these backpacks, these bags.
Yep.
And we're going to be packing them with what?
Assembly line style. Yeah. So going sort of like down the row. There's going to be oatmeal, dried fruit. There's sunflower seeds. There's healthy sort of like biscuit crackers.
And it
there's
goes all the way
cereal.
down the line.
Yep.
And people are passing them down.
Yep.
We're trying to do it quick, but the thing is, it's got to be effective.
So this was a change from last year. Yeah, we're now going to have some quality control standards in place.
Because the last thing you want to do is pack thousands of bags and then find out you got to repack them.
Exactly. That is not what we're looking. I don't think that's what anyone wants, but sometimes that spirit of competition just takes hold.
And you're just like,
yep.
Yeah.
So now we will have a quality control sort of randomized check, and there will be time penalties for any sort of. So we're trying to incentivize, you know, creating an incentive structure for
get this done right.
Quick and accurate and safe.
Yeah.
We did try out.
Some poor kid's going to open up like 19 sunflower seeds and that's it. We're
not going to let that happen.
No, of course.
But we did test it with our team, and there was a speed piece that was incentivizing running. And we decided, you know what, that's probably also not the safest thing for us to do for these things. So it's been fun to figure it out. But last year was our first open house, believe it or not. It was so much fun. And I think our goal is to do it better every single year. Yeah. To keep iterating, keep making it fun. This year also, the Paso Robles Children's Museum is going to come and be part of it. So they're going to have a really fun children's activity. We've got a face painter. And I think it's something that we hear a lot during the year is people who want their children to grow up with a spirit of service and giving back.
It's huge.
It's huge. And it's how I got to grow up here in SLO County. And so really it's an opportunity for families to come. And it's a really positive environment. I think sometimes when I'm going around talking about the food bank, I feel a little bit like Eeyore, you know, walking around with all of the bad news. But this is really a time to celebrate the incredible difference we make when we work together.
Yeah, for sure.
And for children to come in and to see all of that joy while also learning about giving back is just a beautiful marriage.
I remember being a kid and I must have been getting a little bit too much for my mom or too big for my britches. And at some point she was like, nope. You were going to serve food. We went down to the Midnight Mission at Skid Row. And if that just like visually doesn't like change you, but then to go up the stairs and scoop put stuff on a plate, see the thank yous and meet the people. And then like as a kid, you know, everything is kind of scary and like different and weird, but like you go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so lucky.
Absolutely.
And then you kind of realize like you didn't do anything to earn that place of blessing.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, no, like I feel as an adult now, so thankful that, you know, my mom and dad did that. And then you go, wow, it really changes your, like you did nothing to be born in this country if you were lucky enough to. You did nothing to be born in this community if you were, or if you moved here. But there's so many places of blessings where you're just like, man, if I have just any aspect that I can help someone else who doesn't have that, we just got to.
Yeah. And also that it can be fun to do it. I think sometimes what we hear from people who are maybe new to the community, it's been really interesting to see since COVID. Now there are so many people who have moved to our community, but work somewhere else. And so we really do get to see that volunteering alongside new people helps build friendships and connection to community. And I think similarly, my mom was the community service leader in our 4-H group, Edna 4-H, growing up. And so there was always a community service project going on that was never optional, but you get to, be reminded how lucky we all are. And like you were saying that there's so much chance in the world. And that there's going to be times, I think, when all of us need a helping hand. It might look different for different people, but you know, life is challenging. That is part of life. Right. And knowing that so many people here have each other's backs, I think giving back is such a lovely way of reminding ourselves of that and just making a difference. You know, like a huge number of our neighbors are going through this, and there's no way of knowing when you look at someone. If they're food insecure, there's they might have a job, they might be your child's best friend at class. Like it might be the person who's bagging your own groceries at a grocery store. Yeah.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
It is expensive to live here. And so a job really has almost nothing to do with if you need support from the food bank or not, because, you know, people have, you know, car accidents that are unexpected. So we hear someone came in after they had a broken arm, a child broke their arm playing hard, you know, in the schoolyard. And then these medical bills showed up. Sure. And there's these life events that happen that can really throw you. But to know that we're a place here where it doesn't have to throw you that far off course is pretty incredible.
Food Bank open house, Saturday, May 30th, 3 to 5. You're going to watch this incredible competition, the finals. What, top 2, top 4 teams? How are we doing it?
Top 4.
And who is this for? Anyone, just come. Or
anyone
get to RSVP?
We would love for people to RSVP. We don't want to run out of food. We're going to have amazing catering from Court Kitchen. We've got, you know, healthy popsicles because it's going to be a warm day. We've got lots of good treats and stuff. We love feeding people. You know, we're the food bank. And we would hate to run out. So if you can help us by RSVPing so that we know how many people to plan for, that would be wonderful. Event. Yep, absolutely.
Just come hang out, watch. You got some representatives there that will like explain the food bank. You can tour inside, give a little tour inside, get to see it up close and personal. I think especially for children to like see what this means, you know, how big is a walk-in cooler? It's bigger than you think it is. You know, whatever we got with forklifts and all of the equipment that comes in, and and then watching the competition is certainly fun. Get a little face painting, do a fun activity with the Paso Children's Museum, and really see so many people that you know, because this is a team effort. We have thousands of volunteers that support us every year, thousands of donors, all of those nonprofits, agency partners that we mentioned, schools, churches. This is our whole team coming together. You help so many different people and organizations. Who helps you? Who's stepping up? Are there any organizations, businesses that you want to shout out right now and let, like, hey, these people are helping to move? So we've got our lead sponsors for this year's open house are Bank of California, Columbia Bank, and Cal Poly Mustangs. Cal Poly is really stepping up. So to work with the students and the team there is amazing. We get to partner all throughout the year and stock their pantry every single week. We do an additional distribution. But working with Cal Poly and Quest is also just phenomenal because we're fueling people who are going to be our leaders in the future. And it's a real honor to do that. Learn by fooding. There we go. Learn by eating. Yeah. Something. How can we help you all year long? Somebody might be listening and going, hey, I'd love to just send them a little something. Maybe there's a business or someone with some really great resources that can really make a sizable donation. Maybe there's a business, hey, I'd love to pool all my employees and we'd love to give. How can people give, and what are the best ways to get a hold of the food bank?
SLOfoodbank.org is a great place to start. You can also give us a call. 238-4664 is our direct line. Some really easy things to do is we have a monthly giving program, and more than 1,000 people and businesses are part of that right now, giving every single month. There's also opportunities to volunteer. Again, over the summer, we need more volunteers. And so sign up as a volunteer, even if it's just during the summer. Maybe your high schooler has some volunteer hour requirements that you can knock out before sports and school year start. We'd love to get those strong bodies in the warehouse over the summer.
That's great.
But really just reaching out. We love, like I said, it's relationships. That's how we get to do this. And so we want to talk to everyone. Let us know.
I just got a speeding ticket recently, and
my goodness.
The cop was so good. The cop was so great. He was a SLO PD dude on a bike. And I was actually kind of thankful because I got caught on the street where I live, and people go with their rice rockets up. And so if I was going a little fast, I deserved it. And he was so nice. He was like, what you could do? They pay, like if you were trying to get off a fine that you've earned with getting a ticket, like 30 something bucks an hour. And you work for
you can volunteer at the food bank. Yep.
And then that can count $34 an hour towards your citation.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It is. It's pretty incredible.
You're feeling good, and you're paying for your stupid ticket that you shouldn't have gotten anyways. You don't even have to pay out of your pocket.
Yeah.
You can pay with your time.
My mom would say it's even more impactful when you give back with your time, and you'll remember that. Yes. I mean, than, just out of pocket. So we would so many people are doing that also at the food bank. It is, we've got the system down, and you don't have, there's no sort of scarlet letter worn with that type of volunteering compared to any other reason that you're volunteering. It is, you're in with the team just the same. Cool. But also people do it for lots of different reasons. It's like I said, school volunteer hour requirements are big. Cal Poly students, some of them have in their classes a requirement to volunteer. So just let us know.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
I hate to have you get out of here and then we forget something. Is there anything that we might have missed, someone you want to thank with regards to the open house that we can touch on before I let you go?
I think the last thing I would say is that because there's no way to know if someone that you know and love is experiencing food insecurity, it can also be really tough for someone to reach out and get that support for the first time. But this is a community of strong referrals and people who are really, bringing casseroles over and things like that. Like that's the spirit of our community. And so if you're ever, thinking that someone might be going through a hard time, we can help make it easier. And sometimes just that suggestion of saying like, hey, I don't know if you've thought about reaching out to the food bank, but they have Tally produce. They have beautiful, healthy food. Like you can go get as much or as little as you need. You don't have to sign up ahead of time. Having that person that you trust help make that referral can really help someone get back on track so much more quickly. Because we also know that the health impacts of going without nutritious food can last a lifetime. And so the earlier we can get people support, the better it's all going to be. So just thinking about, anyone who's listening, thinking about the people that you know and love in your life. And if there's something we can do to be supporting them, we would love to see them.
Molly Kern, you're awesome. Big brain, big heart, fierce leader. You are one to not to mess with. You are so good at what you do. The food bank's lucky to have you. You have a wonderful team.
We have a phenomenal team.
I loved working with your team from Savannah. There was another. Who was the other girl I talked to?
Savannah.
Amy. It was
Andrea.
Andrea and Savannah. Just awesome people. Everyone who was whether it was year before, this year, you guys are great. You guys are great at what you do.
I mean, we get to have the community have our backs, and that's a good feeling. It's good to go to work when you're like, hey, we can make a difference, and we've got this army of people in SLO County that love food and love eating and are proud of what we grow and make here and want to make sure that it's not an exclusive experience.
Yeah, appreciate you tons. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you.
Always love when you're in here. Saturday, May 30th, the Food Bank Open House. I am so stoked to be out there once again, 3 to 5, completely free. We'll put the links to the show notes so you can RSVP, like she said. We're the Food Bank. We don't want to run out of food.
We don't want to run out of food. Exactly.
Molly, as always, love your company. Thank you for being Up+Adam.
Thank you. See you on the 30th.
Some say life's where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Thanks again, Molly Kern, SLO County Food Bank CEO. And the open house is happening Saturday, May 30th, 3 to 5 p.m., completely free. Family friendly. Can't wait to see you out there. Come say hi and RSVP. But again, it's free. They just want to kind of get a head count. They, the food bank, like she said in there so perfectly, the food bank would like to know how much food to bring. So get on to the links in the show notes, slofoodbank.org. We got all the links right at your fingertips. Okay. Want to say a quick thank you to our friends at Benny's Pizza. There are pizza spots, and then there are places that just feel like a story is unfolding. And that's what I love about the vibe of Benny's Pizza. It's that Detroit style, thick ass, crispy, pan fried crust. I want to do some ASMR right now, like where you run your knife to the side of the crust. Just imagine it. And maybe I should do that next time I have some. Sauce on top or bottom, it doesn't matter. Flavor every single bite. And it's now your go-to hang. Happy hour. Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. 3.5 domestic cans, $2 off premium beer and wines, plus food specials that are hitting the spot. So check out the patio. You got a grad party coming up, maybe a little corporate lunch, corporate meeting. Father's Day's on the way. The patio, super cool place to hang. Upper Monterey, 1601 Monterey Street, San Luis Obispo. You can give them a call, order up, 439-3838, 439-3838. Benny's Pizza. Links in the show notes, not just where you eat, it's where you land. Also, when was the last time you were at the Mountain Air? They are, I think it's still in the middle of this, maybe the tail end. What are we doing with their sale? They have a matching anniversary sale going on right now. Mountain Air is just an incredible store. I mean, look, they've been around for over 50 years, since 1975, right there on Marsh Street, downtown SLO. Lindsay and Josh Herring, just a great couple, great neighbors in this community. And buy or sell some used gear. Go a couple doors down. Go to the Switchback. Maybe you want to rent a Yeti cooler for a camping trip or a sleeping pad. They got it all. I mean, those Yeti coolers are expensive. I'm sure you can buy one there. But for anyone, you can still feel like you got one, at least for the weekend. Maybe you want to get fitted in some new Patagonia gear. Get it on. Go to our friends at the Mountain Air. And especially considering we got a big box store right around that hill, it makes sense. Shop local. Shop. These people, they give you love. You're seen when you walk in. They're just great people. It's great. And let them know that you heard them on Up and Adam. That is huge. Thank them for not just keeping it local with who they serve, but keeping it local with the dollars they earn. They are supporting new media by being Up and Adam. All right. Want to thank our friends at Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show called Start Again. Stream them wherever you get your music. Also, moonshinercollective.com. Yeah. A brand new episode of Where Wine Takes You comes out later today. That's going to be exceptional. Also, a new episode of The Pour will be coming out, I believe, tomorrow. So content. A lot going on. This show recorded at SLO Cal, for all my shows, recorded at SLO Cal Studios in the heart of San Luis Obispo County, California. San Luis Obispo. SLO Cal, where the wine is world class, the people are real, and life is too beautiful to rush. For turns well taken, visit slocal.com. That's SLOCAL, slocal.com. Till tomorrow, when it will be Friday. I'm Adam Montiel. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.